So without further ado, that's the one. We're going to bring up Paqui here from Spain. Hi, Paqui, how are you?
Hello.
Good to see you. I'm loving the community.
Last year T-shirt. It's really hot in Spain right now, so I'm sweating. Sorry.
That's absolutely fine. We have this light and it's doing So we've created a maybe a Spanish climate in this room. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me to present my session.
Of course. We're super excited to hear from you. I know you'll be talking about creating inclusive learning experience. So I'm so excited to hear from you. And I know everyone else in the chat is as well. So I'm going to pass it over to you. If you want to bring up your screen and sharing, and then we can pop that on for you.
Okay.
Lovely stuff. I can't see it just yet. So when you're sharing, just let me know.
Okay. I think it's done.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we can see it there.
Yeah.
Yes, fantastic. Oh, yeah, if you jump on your collection.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Ready?
Oh, over to you. Thanks, Paqui. Yeah, we can see that now. So you're good to go.
Okay. I'm on the air?
Yeah, you're on and you're ready to go. Everyone's excited to hear from you.
Okay, I'm going to start sharing the screen and I'm going to present myself.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me and thanks for joining the session about how to create learning situations with Wakelet, which is the fantastic tool to create an inclusive environment in our classroom. So, my name is Paqui Carmona Luna. I'm from Spain. And I'm a foreign language teacher. And right now I'm working as an EdTech coach. So I'm not teaching since 2022. But I keep working on my resources using Wakelet. And recently we had a change of legislation or normative in Spain. So we started creating learning situations instead of lesson plans, which was the traditional way we planned before. And the difference is that we have to create a final project in every learning situation. So I think Wakelet is the perfect tool to include that, because you can create a final portfolio for all your students, and they can include all type of documents or formats, etc. So let me explain what a learning situation is. As I said, is the way we plan in Spain since 2022, more or less. And it's more complex than a lesson plan. It includes a final project, which may take 1 week or several weeks. It depends on the difficulty of the final project, the subjects, whatever you want to include, the students' ages. So it's not a fixed structure. And it's important to take into account the learning outcomes you want to achieve and the criteria you want to evaluate. So the idea is to apply a series of practices which help the students to develop their strengths and to deploy the key and specific competencies, because it's the way we program in Spain.
Hey,
And
so sorry to interrupt, Paqui. I didn't know if there was a screen that you were sharing. It's disappeared, so we're not seeing a screen, or were you just?
No, I'm just explaining, and then I'm going to share the.
Sorry to
So
interrupt.
no, it's okay. It's just the introduction.
Fantastic. All sounds great so far.
It's just let
camera.
me 2 minutes
course.
and I finish.
Fantastic.
So I'm going to share the collection. And okay, it's okay. I'm going to share right now. Don't worry.
I wasn't trying to rush you, I promise.
No, it's okay.
We'll double check that just comes up. I just want to make sure everyone can see
Yeah.
what we're speaking about.
Okay. Let me know if you can watch the Wakelet collection.
Perfect. That's on there now. Yeah.
Okay. So that's my collection about how to create learning situations with Wakelet. And as I said, it depends on the complexity. So we can start with the center of interest of our students. And Wakelet is perfect because we can create a template using an entry or exit tickets at the end of the lesson, our icebreakers, etc. So we can use an image, videos, prompts, objects, etc. to create an entry ticket and or a bell ringer to catch our students' attention. And since that, we can start from scratch to create all the learning situation. So I recommend to present a motivating scenario, like, for example, something that they are interested in, an artist or an historical fact or whatever they choose, because the idea is that the students choose the center of interest. So provoke curiosity in our students, to catch their attention and to make them feel more interested in investigating the learning situation. So the justification is the curriculum. It depends on the ages of our students. It depends on the subjects, etc. So we start from the curriculum to program our learning situation, and we choose the objectives or learning outcomes we want to work with, and the criteria we need to evaluate the lesson at the end. And as I said, a learning situation is a pedagogical tool for the implementation of the competency-based approach. And it is characterized by a practical application in real-life situations. Students adopt a leading role because their own learning process, they're leading our learning process. Teachers act as facilitators of the learning process. We must evaluate the students' progress. And as I'll say later, but Wakelet portfolios are the best for that, because we can create a portfolio since the beginning of the school year, and it grows up throughout the school year with the students' achievements. So it's perfect for a learning situation, because they can put their podcasts, videos, texts, images, drawings, etc. So some examples of learning situations are, for example, a debate on the causes and consequences of the excessive use of TikTok, for example, or a podcast interviewing a historical figure, a creation of a literary work, like a poem or etc. So the description of the final project in a learning situation is very important to create our students' portfolios, because they can store all the products they create. Students' portfolios provide a holistic view of all the students' achievement. They can grow as the school year moves forward. As I said, they are related to the real world. They help students control their own learning process. They help reduce text anxiety. We can make them very inclusive because Wakelet provides with the immersive reader and collaborative tools, etc. So the curricular concretion, as I said, acts as a roadmap for both teachers and students, ensuring we cover essential knowledge and skills in a logical consequence, and it ensures an efficient use of time. Specific learning objectives allow to adjust instruction to meet the specific needs of our students. And thanks to them, we can identify areas where our students might struggle and to adjust our teaching methods according to our students' needs. So the curricular goals make it easier to design effective assessments, and we can create traditional assessments as well if we want. But I recommend to use Wakelet digital portfolios for every learning situation, because, as I said, you can store everything in there and you can watch all the students' progress throughout the year. They have students have access to the same basic knowledge and skills development. They stay motivated and engaged. And I'm going to present the parts of the learning situation. Let me know if you can watch this. I know it's a little bit small, the image, but you can download it from the Wakelet collection. And the essential parts of a learning situation is you have to create a challenge question for your students. So, for example, we can use SDG or a historical fact or something close to them. We have to encourage creativity, and Wakelet is perfect for that because they can work in a collaborative way, and they can include so many types of content, and they can be very creative when using Wakelet. So we design cooperative tasks. The idea is to work all together in the classroom, because, as you know, we have students with different skills, different abilities, different competencies, and the idea to work all together is that one student can help other students to be successful. We empower and create space for everyone. As I said, using universal design for learning is essential to create a learning situation, because that way we can assure that our students use different different support learning. And okay, let me one moment. We can use, for example, the immersive reader for students with ADHD or students with the autism spectrum, because the immersive reader allows them to communicate in a different way. They can use pictograms. They can use the you know the translation tool, the read aloud tool, etc. And we can design an open and formative evaluation, because when we use the Wakelet portfolios, we can evaluate our students, we can assess their progress, and we can make adjustments to their process of learning. So let me go back one moment. Okay. It's opening. There. Okay. So when we finish a learning situation, it's time to evaluate the learning process. And I included some tools that I use using metacognition to evaluate our students and to make them reflect on their process of learning. So there you have a tool to evaluate their own process, their own learning process. And we use the learning ladder using metacognition strategies. For example, reflecting on what did they learn in the lesson, how did they learn it, etc. So we use all these questions to answer our own concerns about knowledge and about learning. And finally, and I think it's one of the most important part of a learning situation, is to evaluate our own practice to make improvements in our teaching, and to help our students better. So I created this tool to evaluate our our teaching process, and using metacognition. And there's a series of questions that we have to answer ourselves to make adjustments in our teaching. So I included the pictures, but at the end of the column you have the complete PDF if you want to download it. And finally, in this Wakelet collection, I included a series of tips about how Wakelet can help us to create a more inclusive classroom. So, as I said, is a multiple format platform, perfect for uploading, storing, and curating our students' creations, either audio or video, PDF documents, Genialis, Canvas, etc. So you can use Wakelet templates to create final products for our learning situations, like newsletters, portfolios, stories, playlists, recipe books, projects, etc. And there you go, the Wakelet templates collection. And this is an example on how to use, for example, Wakelet to create a final product for a storytelling using GIFs. And this was an example of one of the challenges you did I think a couple of years ago, but I really liked it, and I'd include it because we can do that with our students. And this is an example let me show. This is Don Quixote's 5 Gifts story, and you can include gifts and text. And as you know, the immersive reader can help your students to read, to translate, to adapt their learning of other languages. And for me, it's a perfect way to create a final product in an original way, not using the typical, writing a story, but it is more creative, more original, and I think it's perfect for our students. And as you know, it's a Wakelet collection that you can include inside your students' Wakelet digital portfolios. So it's all connected and all in the same place, and you can evaluate your students' progress using just one collection in a digital portfolio. So this is one of the examples I created. Okay, I'm going to close that. Let me know if you see that. And as a foreign language teacher, for me, the immersive reader is the perfect tool to create, an inclusive classroom for students who are learning another language or a second language, or who struggle with some difficulties like dyslexia or dysgraphia, or students that, as I said, that they struggle communicating. For example, if they have or they are in the autism spectrum, or they present ADHD. So using pictograms is perfect to help those students, and every type of student. And for me, is the best tool for using Wakelet in a learning situation. Of course, you can create a learning situation of maths, history, science, and biology, wherever you want, wherever you need. But the idea is that to create learning situations using interdisciplinarity, using more than one subject, and to combine other, two or more subjects to make the learning situation more, I don't know how to say, but more interesting and more realistic. And I think that's all. I don't know if there are some doubts about that. Okay, I'm going to
Fantastic. No doubts at all.
sharing. I don't know if you can watch. Okay.
No, that was all fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. I found it really powerful. We talk about giving students a choice in their learning, and making them at the forefront and giving them the power of their kind of learning and understanding. And I really love how you start out by giving them the power to create that or capture their center of interest. They choose what they're going to be working on and looking at, and already then you've captivated their interest because they're invested. They want to learn more, and they want to follow the steps and showcase their learning in ways that makes sense to them as well. You touched upon kind of using the column layout there to kind of give them that step by step. So like you said, teachers are facilitating their learning, but then giving them the option to express that understanding in lots of different ways there. And as you say, Wakelet's fantastic for that, because you can combine it all into a Wakelet collection. So in terms of building a portfolio and showcasing all of that work, they can do it all in one place, which is amazing for you as the educator to see, and for themselves to look back on as well. So No, thank you so much. I thought that was a really powerful,
Thank you.
powerful place.
It was
And
a pleasure.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
wonderful to see. And I know everyone will have taken away some really fantastic ideas in there as well. And there's some love in the chat there for you as well. So thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you always taking the time to share your fantastic ideas. And yeah, any final words just before we jump off? Or you jump off, sorry.
Okay, don't forget to connect on Saturday for the Wakelet in Spanish, Wakelet Community Week in Spanish, because we're going to gather all together, and we're going to have our session in our language. And as you know, we are from so many different countries, and it's a perfect occasion for to learn more from Wakelet, but in our language. And that's thanks to you, and thank you for creating that space for us.
Of course, I enjoy any time where we can have you involved, of course, but the Spanish and community as well. So I'm really looking forward to that session. I think it's going to be fantastic. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And yeah, encourage everyone to tune into that, because Paqui will be there with a number of the Spanish and Latin community. And I know it's going to be a fantastic. You also have a lot of fun on those. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But for now, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.